First things first, Jay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm busy. It's fun. It's ADE. It's rainy, but I mean it's Holland, so. But it's yeah, I'm good. Really good.
Is it like a homecoming if you are here in the Netherlands and especially ADE?
Yeah, for sure. I mean I live in Amsterdam now for 1.5 years.
Okay.
So it's really easy. I'm fast everywhere, and yeah, it's fun. You know, I mean the atmosphere is really Dutch, and I think that's the success of ADE. Like it's down to earth. It's like big DJs here are not being followed by big teams. It's just normal Dutch people, and I really love the Dutch atmosphere. Yeah.
And you say you moved here a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of producing here as well?
Yeah, I work at home, and yeah, every time I get the chance when I'm home, I just make music. I work on all different kinds of projects and try to finish my new tracks. So yeah, I work at home. Sometimes I rent a studio,
Okay.
just to check another mix and be able to work at night. And but yeah, I work mostly at home.
Because obviously as a DJ you're traveling around a lot. Do you do a lot of work in terms of producing on the road as well?
For me, it's pretty difficult. I like to really get like not be tired and just chill. Like when I'm home, I need to be really chill, and then I just start relaxing, and like I'm behind my computer, and then I make nice music. But when I'm on the road, it's like you're in this airplane or in this hotel, and you're just like on the go every time. So I don't really get the rest in my head to focus on the music. But sometimes I work on some small ideas, and I work them out at home.
And you say you need this rest to produce. Obviously, your life is quite busy, quite hectic. Yeah. So in terms of doing shows and that kind of thing, do you get a lot of rest generally?
No, but it's like don't need a lot of sleep, but I need to be like rest in my head. So I need if I have a really good show, I can be really calm the next day because I'm like, oh, I feel good. It was a good show, and I'm just you know. So it's like I can be busy, but still have time to just get to rest in my studio and like make good music. So.
And how important is the mood that you're in when you are in the studio in terms of what comes out?
Really important. If I focus too much on I want to make a hit or I need to make this track sound better, I am there for a day and nothing happens. And if I just have fun and just be like just having fun and just messing around, then the best ideas happen. So.
Is it difficult because obviously shows are getting bigger, releases are getting bigger, and I suppose this adds a bit of pressure. So is it easy to get in that kind of mind state? And
sometimes, sometimes, yeah. It's just because sometimes you just have pressure to finish something. Like like when Wake Up was released, I was. And it was released. It was like, yeah, I'm working on a bunch of tracks, but which one am I gonna finish, and what's gonna be my next single? And yeah, it's sometimes then it's hard to because creating music is like a creative process, and if you have to finish a track, it's hard to still be creative. So that's yeah. Sometimes that's the struggle, but I think that's the struggle with every creative process for everyone. So.
And you mentioned Wake Up. What was the start of that song? What was the first bit of creativity?
If you hear the chords in the break, that was I had that already for 2-3 years, something like that. And I knew it was good, but I couldn't do anything with it yet, so I just let the project stay on my computer. And then I was messing around with some vocals on an airplane, actually. Okay. And there was a friend with me, and I just was showing him, like, yeah, this is how you can make vocals on like chopped up and on a track, and then out of that came the break of Wake Up, and I was like, hey, this is fun, let's finish it. So it's a 2-year-old melody, implemented with new sounds and new things, and I have a new track. So yeah, it can be it can happen like that. So yeah.
And in terms of the vocals, where did the vocals come from? Did you have that already?
I did a remix for Margaret Berger. I Feed You My Love. It was she was a contestant for the Eurovision Song Festival a couple of years ago, and I did a remix, and I still had that vocal on my computer. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna use it. So yeah, I mean that's how I got the vocal and just chopped it up and then had something totally new.
And you see vocals a lot more these days in house music. What is your opinion on it? Why do you think it's become more of a thing?
I think because a vocal is like a real. It's like even more real than an instrument. It's like it's actual voice. It's alive. So if you use a small vocal chops, your melody comes alive really easily because it sounds alive. It sounds real. So it's way better, or not always better, but it's way more alive and yeah, it's more than a synth, you know. So that's why people love it nowadays. I mean, they've been doing it for maybe 10 years, you know, cutting up vocals, but it's getting back in a good way now, like melodic and making melodies with the vocals. So that yeah, it's fun.
Are the lyrics important? And for instance, on Wake Up, you say you had that vocal line already. Do you think about the lyrics?
No. In Fruity Loops, which I work in, there's this thing you can throw it in, and it cuts it up in random pieces, and then I just choose out the sounds that sound good and just play around with the pitch, and then I had this melody and yeah, it feels like with Wake Up, it feels like it's saying wake up, and so that's what brought the title as well. But I don't really focus on the vocals in for instance, Wake Up. So
this is more the sounds that you.
Yeah. It's like the live sound of the vocal.
And well, you have a couple of collaborations out as well. One with Dubs, one with Mike Hawkins. How do you pick your collaborations?
I don't really pick them. Like I'm not gonna go like I need to collaborate with him or with him. I'm just I like to work with people that are fun to work with, have the same creative process, or just have the same creative ideas and about music. And so yeah, I work with Julian Jordan, for instance. We have different styles, but I like to work with him. I like to hang out with him. So, and same with Dubs. They're really cool guys, and we just like to hang out as well. So it's not only about business with music, and that's what I really love. I love like the creative process and just being able to not feel pressured to finish things. Yeah. So.
And in terms of the music, then, you say you like to work with Julian Jordan. He has a different style than you.
Yeah.
How do you combine what you do and what he does into one thing?
Well, we just make what we like, what we love. If we like a certain sound or a certain track, we just let's make this kind of track. Or just I have this project, and I showed it to Julian. He's like, yeah, I like it too. Let's just finish it. And we're both adding elements, which make it into a new, unique track. And that's yeah. If you get the best of both too, those are the best collaborations. So.
Does it make it easier working with somebody to know when a song is done, or to know when you?
If you know the person, you mean, or?
Well, if you're working in a collaboration in general, do you know when a song is finished?
No, but I never know when a song is finished. Like every track, there's a certain point that you're just gonna have to say now it's finished. Because if I want to make it perfect, I keep working on it forever. So together with the label and with sending it around to other people, we just think like, okay, now this is going to be the final version, because you can keep tweaking, and there are always things that are not perfect in tracks. So, and especially with collaborations, you're sending, and there's like 50 versions, and then at the end you just gotta say, okay, this is it, this is going to be it, and then. So yeah, you never really know when it's finished.
Do you think about how it will sound when you play it live? How the people will?
Yeah, I think testing it live is one of the most important things. If you I make tracks that are easy to listen to, and I don't play. it's not doesn't really matter if I play it live. But if I make a track that I want other DJs to play, I have to test it. I have to make sure the build up is hyped enough. I have to make sure the fill in before the drop is cool. I have to make sure the mix is tight and that it pops out. So yeah, it's really important to play tracks live, especially during the process of making and tweaking, and so yeah.
And then all these decisions that you have to make. I've been talking to a lot of DJs the past 2 days, and obviously the industry is moving very fast technologically in terms of what styles and there. Is it difficult to kind of find your own path in everything?
Yeah, sometimes it is. Like sometimes it's hard to not follow the hype. You're like, oh, these tracks are really big right now, and like, whoa, this new style of Skrillex, what he's doing with Justin Bieber, that's really awesome. I want to make that. But of course you get inspired. You should let yourself get inspired by that, but you shouldn't try to recreate it, because you should always try to make your own sounds and your own tracks. And of course you can use elements from tracks. But what I think is a little bit wrong sometimes is that, like, you have this Jaws track, Rock the Party, really good track, really unique, typical Jaws, really awesome. And then you have, like, now people are coming with copies of that, and like the same with Oliver Heldens, people are reproducing his style, and I'm like, it's good to be inspired, but you shouldn't copy, or you shouldn't try to be original, try to implement things from yourself. That's
And this originality, creativity, for you, obviously, I suppose it's different for every song, but for you, what are certain things you do to get inspiration, or certain elements you like?
I get asked that a lot, like what inspires me, and I think everything inspires me, but also everything doesn't inspire me. Like I don't hear music on the radio and I'm like, yeah, I need to make this now. I just... like I said, I like to be comfortable in my studio and just be clear in my head, and then I just get ideas myself. So I think what inspires me is being able to sleep good night and
good night's sleep.
Yeah.
And well, you started very young, and so you've been doing this a while. What for you are the biggest changes since for when you began to now?
Well, it's there's less time to make music, and especially like when I started, I made everything. I was in my studio every time. Like when I came from school, I went into my studio. I made like classical music. I made like movie kind of music.
Sure.
Like I played in this percussion band, like with marimbas and stuff, and I wrote music for that. And like those kind of side experiments, there's just no time for it, and that's a shame, because that sometimes brings a lot of inspiration. If I'm working on this piano piece, but yes, there's a lot of pressure on, and I want to finish house tracks as well. So that's sometimes that's the biggest change, I think, from the start till now.
And finally, then. What are you working on now? Is there a direction you see yourself going in, or a certain song that?
No, I always have focused on nice melodies and a nice atmosphere for a track. So that's I always try to do a little bit new stuff, like a little bit. This one unique thing can make a track totally unique, and I just try to focus on what I like right now, and I try to make that. And if maybe I don't like it in a year anymore, but at least I want it to be real, and I don't want to reproduce things or copy things. So I try to make the music that I like. So.
And you say that this because it's moving very fast. That's one of the big changes, moving very fast. Does that influence your creativity? Or in general for DJs?
What do you mean, that everything's changing? Or?
No, because there's kind of a pressure to release stuff and to stay relevant.
It's changed my, for sure.
Okay.
Because like when like 5 years ago, I was just in the studio for a week and I had one idea. Now I don't have time to be in the studio all week, so yeah, that's sometimes it's like stressful and what's going to be the ideas. But luckily, if you keep just making ideas, you will build up enough ideas to later like make as a new original track. So it's hard work, but it's a lot of fun because making music is what I love to do. So
Thank you very much for your time.
thank you.
Thank you.